Dear students of 10th standard, we will start with the second poem of your English first language from the part 1 textbook. So here the writer of this poem itself is a special person. So before mentioning his name, I would like to tell you few aspects or information related to the concept that he has covered here. Here it is a request or a letter written to the students, his son's teacher, and what and all he is requesting the teacher is really a great nature of the writer that has been concentrated a lot. Writer himself is a great personality. On that, the way he has written this letter is something great. Each line he requests the teacher how she can mold his son for his future life. Maybe it is education or the daily life or the way he has to lead his life or the mannerism that is expected by the society or the disciplined life. Why am I concentrating or highlighting all these things is, in the present era or the present life what we are leading, this is very important because as parents and as teachers, it is our duty to mold our children to lead their life in a proper way and in a meaningful way for their future life. And being a teacher and being a parent, there are lots of things wherein we have to cooperate with each other. That is very important. The parent cannot blame the teacher or the teacher cannot blame the parent. So we both have to support each other so that we can make our kids a responsible citizen in the future life. And whatever lines are given here, all are in a continuous way. You don't see any paragraphs there. It's a continuous conversation of the poet with the teacher, and everything is in the form of a request. It is in the form of a request. And at last, he also tells the teacher that the task what I have given you, I know it is a big task. It's not so easy, but try to do whatever is possible because my son is young and he also should cooperate with everything. That's why the children of 10th standard, I think you are blessed to have this poem in your syllabus because this is the first stage in your life that will get changed in the next year, wherein you are stepping into the wider world of your college education. And I don't think so you may get all this guidance. Your teachers guide you, your parents guide you, but this is a very beautiful poem which has helped me as a teacher to guide teacher and a principal of institution to guide my students. Whatever I feel like telling my children, so that is really jotted down very beautifully by the writer of this poem. Okay, now you can see the writer of this poem, that is Abraham Lincoln. So see his photo. I think you all know him because the democratic life what we are leading here in our country. So what is that democracy? So he has given us a very beautiful definition. I think all of them remember it. So what is the definition he has given? the democratic life. Or what is democracy? It is by the people, of the people, for the people. By the people, for the people, mainly by the people means we all have the right to elect our leaders, and for the people means the democracy whatever we are following in our country, that is for the upliftment of the people and the upliftment of the country. So here we have to see that ours is a democratic country which is the largest one. So that is also very important, and this topic itself is an interesting one. Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. He is writing a letter to his son's teacher, and you should always remember this. When he wrote this letter, he was the president. He was the president of United States. So you can just think, being at that level, being the president, he writes a letter to his son's teacher as a request, as a guidance. That itself tells that he was a great personality. Before going to the introduction that is given in the textbook, I would like to tell you a few things. He was born on February 12th, 1809. His parents were Thomas Lincoln and Nancy Lincoln. His father was a farmer. His father was a farmer. Sometimes he owned farms, but not to the continuous period. He owned livestock, all these things. There was no permanent owning or working. And Abraham Lincoln got the formal education only for few months. He did not get his formal education. What is his formal education? Going to the school. He self-educated himself. See, great thing. We cannot think of that. Self-educated himself, and he became a lawyer, and he was also the statesman of United States. Okay, now we'll know few more things about the writer. Abraham Lincoln, 1809 to 1865, was the 16th President of the United States of America, born to parents who struggled to make a living in Kentucky. Lincoln made great efforts to acquire knowledge. That's what I told. Everything was self-efforts. An outspoken opponent of the system of slavery. This is also a very important thing. Before, slavery was a very dominant problem faced by people, and especially he was a person who was a great opponent, and he spoke regarding this. He struggled a lot, and thus he was able to bring people out of this system. Lincoln defeated the Confederacy in the American Civil War. Confederacy means a group of people who were against many aspects, and introduced the measures that abolished slavery. So one more aspect is, he is very famous regarding this, that is the abolishment of slavery. So we have to remember him regarding this, and a very beautiful definition given regarding the aspect that is democracy. And self-learned person, he is a writer, and he was very famous for his speech. His speech were made into books, and the language what he got developed is only by his self-efforts and reading. That's why I want to tell you, this way he has to really inspire you all, especially to improve your language or whatever it is regarding your knowledge gaining or your education. Okay, children, we'll start with the poem. Concentrate on the lines, very beautifully written. It's just jotted down, line by line, it is just jotted down. You don't have any poetic form or anything, just the guidance or the request of a parent to the teacher is being written, and a very gentle way of writing. Very gentle way of writing. He will have to learn, I know, that all men are not just, all men are not true, but teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero, that for every selfish politician there is a dedicated leader. Teach him for every enemy there is a friend. It will take time, I know, but teach him, if you can, that $1 earned is of far more value than 5 found. Each line has got its own importance in our life as students, later on in your future life, and this is what is education which is expected and needed nowadays. He will have to learn, I know, that all men are not just. Very important in your life as a student or as a grown up, you have to learn. He means it's a son of Abraham Lincoln. He will have to learn, he has to learn or he has to know. I know that what he has to learn, that all men are not just. Just means they are not honest, they are not kind, they are not dedicated. So you should know that as children or as the students who are in teenage, which is very important, and also in your future life. People around you, maybe when it comes to your parents and all, I don't think so it is applicable, but other than that, people around you, you cannot think that everyone is just. All men are not true. You cannot believe everyone. Everyone cannot be true. Everyone cannot be a very faithful person. But teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero. So first 4 lines you see, you have to know that people around you are not just, or you cannot think everyone is true. See, there Abraham Lincoln is referring his son and asking the teacher to teach, but I am referring it as you because this is really a topic that has been written down which is related to you all. But teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero. In the beginning lines he has told that no, everyone cannot be just or everyone cannot be true, but you cannot have that negativity in your mind. You cannot see everyone in a doubtful manner. What is the thing you have to keep it in your mind? For every scoundrel, scoundrel is a dishonorable person who is not honest. For every scoundrel, there is a hero. So you will also find people who are good at heart, who are really faithful, and they are true. But you should be cautious. You should be in a position to know, try to know, find out. So that is also important. See the linking. So you have to concentrate on that. For that, for every selfish politician, there is a dedicated leader. So when it comes to the concept or that word politician, so what we think that most of the politicians are selfish. They come into politics only for money or for that name or for that leadership, all these things. But you might have also seen people, the leaders, who are very dedicated from the beginning of our, what is that, maybe the politics in our country or the leaders whomever you have heard or seen or whatever it is, you might have seen great leaders there. They are dedicated or they were dedicated and they have led their life only for the development of the country or to serve the people. So you have to see this also. So for every selfish politician, you have dedicated leader. Teach him for every enemy there is a friend. So you cannot tell that all the people around you are your enemies. There might be an enemy with that simultaneously you will have a friend. It will take time, I know, but teach him if you can that a dollar earned is of far more value than 5 found. See, for teaching all these things, starting lines or the future lines, teaching him, making him understand, it will take time, I know that. But teach him if you can. See, one more thing, that a dollar earned. So, dollar, it is the currency, the same way what currency we have here, rupee. That a dollar is one, a dollar earned. What is the meaning of the word earned? That you earn by your hard work, your dedication, with that you earn it, is of far more value than 5 found. 5 found is, you may get that somewhere or you may get it in a very different way or not working in a honest way. In a very negative way you might have earned it, or you might have found it without any pains, but it is of no use, because whatever you have earned, maybe it is $1, it has got more value than the 5 found. Teach him to learn to lose and also to enjoy winning. Steer him away from envy if you can. Teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Let him learn early that the bullies are the easiest to lick. Teach him, if you can, the wonder of books, but also give him quiet time to ponder the eternal mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and the flowers on a green hillside. In the school, teach him it is far honorable to fail than to cheat. See, now, in the first few lines you saw the concepts that were covered. They are related to the character or the way you have to grow, all these things. Now, here also you have some lines related to that, but later on there are some lines which tell you how you can lead a meaningful life. See, it is not end of your life that you just go on growing with getting educated, getting into a very good job where you can earn money and lead a peaceful life. You cannot tell this as a life. The life has got different dimensions. So that is what he has concentrated here. Teach him to learn to lose. So what is this? Losing. See, every step of your life cannot be a successful one. Sometimes you may win, or sometimes you may fail, or you may lose. So you have to accept it. You have to accept it and lead life. You cannot go out of that or run out of that. Surely you have to take it in a right spirit and lead your life. And also to enjoy winning. See, when you are successful, every time it cannot be a very big success, but step by step you can be successful, and whatever success you get in your life, enjoy it. Sometimes, simple example, you might have put lots of effort, then you might have thought of scoring 90 and above, you might have got 85%, but you have to enjoy it. You can just sit and think, what was the problem, why couldn't you reach that aim, but you have to enjoy. Or when it comes to some competitions, sports or whatever it is, you might have tried very well, but you cannot tell the other person is not better than you. He might have got the first place, you might have got the second place. Yeah, you may sit and think or brood on the things which made you come to the second place, but you should always enjoy the success you have got. That is what is the meaning here. Steer him away from envy. Steer is guide, direct him, guide him, direct him to Be away from envy. Envy is the jealousy, ill will, means thinking bad about others, feeling jealous of others. So, if someone is going beyond the limit of the success, or he is just keeping you back and is moving front, and never be jealous of that or never feel ill about that. Think what you can do, what you can try, and always we should know our ability. When we feel that yes, this is my ability, I have tried myself doing all the things and I have got it, yes, you have to enjoy. Don't feel jealous about others and never feel bad about the people with you if they lead a life far better than you. Yes, there is a limit for everything, so we should not feel bad about others. That is very important. If you can, teach him the secret of quiet laughter. See, this is one more important aspect. Whatever is there in our life, we may become success, sometimes we may have so much of hurdles, but any small happiness that we get, or a small part of a life where we can do something freely without any problem, then you should try to enjoy that quiet laughter within you. It doesn't mean that you have to laugh loudly and express your happiness. You have to feel satisfied. See, mainly we have food, the basic needs. You have clothing, you have a shelter, you have parents to look after you, and they are trying to fulfill your needs. You have to enjoy it. You have to get satisfied. You cannot just go on comparing you with others and thinking, yeah, he's got that thing, I am not having that, or he has so much of lenience at home, or his parents are very practical, my parents, or they keep on telling me most of the things, or they are very strict. You have to just sit and think why all these bindings are there and feel satisfied. When you have the basic necessities of your life, I think we should be really satisfied with that, so that we can lead our life very happily. Let him learn early that the bullies are the easiest to lick. So, early in life you have to learn that the bullies are the people or a person who uses his strength to frighten others. Maybe it's in the form of money, or sometimes in the form of power, or sometimes in the form of being very smart or very intelligent. Such people, sometimes they try to frighten you with their strengths. But you should not get disturbed, because you will have your own strength, So, we have to always make children know that. And they are easiest to lick. Lick is to defeat easily. So, you can also defeat them easily. If you get frightened, if you start worrying, if you feel that no, I cannot overcome him. If you feel, then it is your weakness. But you should always keep it in your mind that it is very easy to defeat them. How should you defeat? Only in a proper way. Take everything in a positive way. Teach him, if you can, the wonder of books. See, this part is different. From here you see a different thing. See, just don't go on thinking about the aspects like, what's that, you want to lead a very luxurious life, you want to get everything that is around you, or you want to be a person who will be noted a lot. No, there are many things. See, even in school, yeah, taking marks is mandatory, because sometimes it may help you in getting your future life. But you should be knowledgeable. How will you get this knowledge? See, you have to try to know the wonder of books. So, it's not that you have to get confined to only your subject books, but you have to start reading different books, wherein your knowledge will go on improving. Not only your knowledge, your spoken language, your way of expressing yourself, or dealing people, talking to people, all these things will only get enhanced by different books. So this is the main point wherein even Abraham Lincoln could develop himself or bringing himself to such a position that is nothing but his self-reading. So that is what he tells a teacher, make him know the wonder of books, but also give him quite time to ponder the eternal mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and the flowers on a green hillside. Okay, he has to read books, he has to concentrate on different types of books, he has to gain knowledge, he should become a good person, everything is correct, but leave him to ponder. Ponder is to think over a matter carefully for some time. Concentrate, try to know, that is called as ponder. On what? On what should he ponder? Eternal mystery, the creation of the nature. Eternal mystery is nothing but our nature. Who has created it and what is the way it has been created? See, you have birds, you have trees, you have a white sky, you have sun, all these things. So they are like a part of our life wherein we can go on knowing about many things. So you should have that love towards the nature. So it's an eternal mystery. Eternal mystery, eternal is lasting forever, which has not got any end. Mystery is what is beyond human understanding. So it's not so easy to understand our nature. The eternal mystery of birds, the way they lead their life, they fly high, the way they build the nest or look after the young ones. Then the birds in the sky, bees in the sun. See, the bee, it always serves for the others. So whatever it does, it's nothing but the service. So bees are very important for the survival of our nature or even the human beings. And the flowers on a green hillside, it's all the nature beauty what is going on explaining. It is really a eternal mystery, isn't it? Sometimes if you sit and think about all these things, you really enjoy and you feel very calm and happy. In the school, teach him it is far honorable to fail than to cheat. See, one more aspect which is very important here, when it comes to school, maybe being with the way he behaves with his teachers or his friends or regarding his studies, whatever it is, he should be or the student should be far honorable. Far honorable. Honorable is having dignity and deserving respect. So you should do everything with dedication and you should be honest in your work. That is very important. See, mainly who is the gainer when you are honorable, when you are honest in your work? That is you, the students. You learn a lot, then you can get very good marks and you become very qualified. You try to know many things and you become knowledgeable, and when it comes to your discipline, there also you will have lots of advantages when you are honorable or when you are honest. So whatever teacher tells or your parents tell, you should be in a position to follow it and try to inculcate this in your life. And whatever is told in the school or at home, it is only for your well-being. Thus, you can develop in your future life. You can have a very good personality or you can become a person of a honorable position in this society. So, here also you can see all the lines. So, every line the writer or the poet is trying to give very good information as a request to the teacher, and is requesting the teacher to try to inculcate all these in his child, and step by step he is moving on. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas. Very important line. Even if everyone tells him they are wrong. Teach him to be gentle with gentle people and tough with the tough. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd. When everyone is getting on the bandwagon, teach him to listen to all men, but teach him also to filter all he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. Teach him, if you can, how to laugh when he is sad. All lines are very important here, especially to the students of teenage. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas. See, as a kid up to the adult, we'll have our own ideas. So mainly you should have faith on your own ideas. That is nothing but the self-faith. You should believe in yourself. So you should feel that yes, I am a person wherein I can try, I can do my best and I can be successful. Always have faith in yourself. That is very important. If you lose faith in yourself, then life is not so easy to lead. So that is what the writer is asking the teacher. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas. Even if everyone tells him they are wrong. See, sometimes you will have many people around you guiding you a lot and your views will be not taken into value, or that the value will be not given to your ideas. But every time you cannot feel that my ideas are wrong. Sometimes you may feel when you are guided by your teacher or by your parent or some older people in your house or your friends, neighbors, society, everything. You may feel that what ideas you have, they may be wrong, but always they cannot be wrong. So you should always have that faith. You should have that faith even if everyone tells that whatever you are telling is wrong. If everyone tells, even then if you have faith on your ideas, you can just justify it. Teach him to be gentle with gentle people. What is gentle? Being kind. So when you meet people, you will have different varieties of nature. If they are very kind, if they are gentle, you also be gentle. You cannot be rude. You should be gentle. And tough with the tough. So all people cannot be gentle. So there are people who are tough in their nature or the way they speak. So you can also be tough. Sometimes the rules and regulations that are put on you, maybe at home or in school, so they may be very tough way. There you try to abide by that, follow that. But sometimes the situation wherein you face, every time you cannot follow it, you can also be tough. Tough is hard to bear or strong. So you should be strong, that is the thing. You should be strong in all the situations. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd. So one thing is very important here. You should have strong belief in yourself. Then you should have strength wherein you have to decide what is wrong and right. You cannot just go on following the crowd. Crowd means people. So you go and tell your parents, my friend or my friends, they are going for some party or they are going for some tour, they are doing this, they are doing that, so I want to do. No, that is not right. See, there are some ways wherein you can really enjoy the life, but you cannot just see your friend doing that and you follow that. He has brought a new pen, every day he brings colorful pens or books. I am just giving the example for students. Even for the adults, this really applies. If somebody has a very, beautiful and a posh house, you also just want to have that because he has got, or it is a mark of prestige. No, it is not right. You should always think it in a proper way. Yeah, if there is a need, you want to have it, yes. But it should not be for the purpose that others have and we want to do that. So that is the meaning here. Strength not to follow the crowd. People may do anything, but we should not just go on following it, following this. When everyone is getting on a bandwagon. So what is the meaning of bandwagon? Any popular or fashionable activity. Nowadays it is too much. People get involved into different types of activities only for the purpose of the status and prestige in the life. So it is not needed. If everyone is getting into bandwagon, you should not just go on following that crowd. It is not needed. Whenever there is a need, we have to do that. Otherwise, it should not be followed and it will be really a negative thing in your life. Teach him to listen to all men. So, you should have patience of listening. Hearing is different. Hearing means you can hear the sound. Any sound made can be heard. But listening means you give concentration and listen. Whoever speaks to you, listen to them. Have that patience. But teach him also to filter all ears on a screen of truth. So yes, you have to listen to people, but one thing is very important in your life. Whatever comes to your ear or you hear, you should have the ability to filter it. What is this filtering? Whatever is needed, whatever is meaningful, whatever is really important in your life, that is to be taken. That is filtering. So you should have the ability to filter all what you hear on the screen of truth. On the screen means based on truth. It should be true. You should think what is true, what is right, what is wrong, and accept the things. And take only the good that comes through. See, you should always filter whatever you hear, that too on the basis of truth. And one more thing, you have to take only the good that comes through. So many things you hear, isn't it? From your parents, from your teachers, from your friends, from your neighbor, the whole society, the media, all these things, they go on tell you so many things. But you should be able, you should try to know what is based on truth, what is needed, and then only you can take that into your life. Teach him, if you can, how to laugh when he is sad. This is very important. I think it is not so easy as children, but there are children who really inculcate this in their life. Even though you are sad, maybe you are disturbed for some reason, or maybe you have so many problems at home, financial problems, regarding the health problems of your parents or your health, whatever it is, when you have the nature to laugh in a situation which is really painful, laugh means not enjoying. You keep smiling, you accept things, you try to come out of that following different measures and never fail to lead a life. You should be successful in leading life even though you are facing so much of problem, and if you take it very easy, then it is called as teach him, if you can, how to laugh when he is sad. Teach him there is no shame in tears. Teach him to scoff at cynics and to beware of too much sweetness. Teach him to sell his brawn and brain to the highest bidders, but never to put a price tag on his soul. Teach him to close his ears to a howling mob and to stand and fight if he thinks he is right. If he thinks he is right. So, other part of your life, and wherein these things will lead you to a complete life, I feel. Teach him there is no shame in tears. So, when you really feel very sad or you feel the pain, you may have tears in your eyes. Maybe it is any time or in front of anyone. So, what happens? It is not a shame. You are expressing your pain. So, sometimes you cannot bear it. Without knowing or unknowingly, you will have the tears. So, yes, there is no shame in that. You are expressing that pain. Teach him to scoff at cynics. Scoff, to make fun of, So teaching to make fun of at cynics. Cynics means a person who has a low opinion about others. You might have seen people around you, in your relatives, your neighborhood, or maybe your friends. So they'll have the habit always telling some negative things about others. They have that low opinion about others. If such people are there, don't worry. You just scoff them off. So you can just keep them aside from your life. Scoff is, as I have told you, make fun, means just take it lightly, laugh at them and just move on. Don't care. Such people are there around you, so you have to come out of that. And to beware of too much sweetness. You also see people, isn't it? They'll be very close to you. They speak only good things about you and they just go on telling all positive things about. They'll be just going on, giving you all supports. There will be no changes at all in the way they support you, but always keep it in your mind, too much sweetness is not good. You should be beware. You should be always thinking. So it is not that you must not believe people or you cannot have close friends. Yes, you have, but you should be also aware of such things. You should beware of too much sweetness. Even when it comes to your food, isn't it? Too much sweetness is not good. In the same way, when it comes to the people, your friends, everything, too much sweetness or too much of intimacy is also not good. This is what we see in nowadays children. So they give much importance to the aspects or to the opinions of their friends than their parents and teachers. So everywhere they feel that their friends are their world. Yes, it's true. But for everything there is a limit, and sometimes this friendship may not end forever. Teach him to sell his brawn and brain to the highest bidders. What's the meaning of the word brawn? Brawn is muscular strength. That is your power, your strength. Then your brain. Brain means your knowledge, your thinking power, all these things. So teach him to sell his brawn, that is your power, your strength and brain, to the highest bidders. Bidders is one who offers to buy something at an auction actually. Bidder, bidding. But here, wherever you do your business or you do your work, so you will be given salary or the business will get you lots of money or success. So always you have to know yourself. What is your power? What is your strength? So when you are loyal, so you have all the rights to sell this brawn and brain. Means your thinking power, your knowledge to the highest bidders. Means where you will get lots of profit or very good salary. So this is what's the meaning. Means you should be capable of knowing your power and your strength and your knowledge. You should not feel that, no, I am not able to do that work. I may be not able to satisfy my boss, or I may not be able to run this business. No, don't have that negativity. You get into or get placed into a well settled life. But one thing is very important. We cannot go around money. There is an end for everything. See, that's why this line is very important. But never to put a price tag on his soul. Tell him that he can sell his brawn, he can sell his brain to the highest bidders, but he can never put a price tag on his soul. What is this, putting a price tag on your soul? Only for the purpose of money, only for the purpose of wealth, or only for the purpose of luxurious life. If you want to lead a life, then it is nothing but you are putting a price tag on your soul. You should go according to your conscience. When you come to know that whatever you are doing is crossing a limit, you are only in a way of doing things for gaining a lot, wherein that has not got an end. You want to have a profit which has crossed the limit, then it is not good. So that's why he is telling, whatever is good he can do, but let him not put a price tag, let him not sell his soul, let him not sell his conscience, you cannot sell it. You should have that humanitarian values in you. That is very important. Teach him to close his ears to a howling mob. Howling means the shouting people. Mob is a group of people. To utter bad news. Howling means they go on shouting, telling something bad, negative aspects. So never go to hear that. Close your ears to a howling mob, and to stand and fight if he thinks he is right. So never go and just listen to the people who are shouting, who are speaking only negative, or they are just going on yelling like anything. You just stand there, and if you feel that what you are thinking, the thinking what is there in your mind, if it is right, then you should always fight for that. Stand and face it. You have to face it. You cannot just go and agree with the people who speak something useless. So you should have your own decision. That is nothing but self-confidence in you. See, each line has taught you a lot, because as this poem is in 10th standard, I am going very detailed, because they are all very important in your life, wherein the completion of this year in your life and also the entry of new life next year. So every line I think you can keep reading, and maybe few things you can inculcate which will give you a very beautiful life. Treat him gently, but do not cuddle him, because only the test of fire makes fine steel. Let him have the courage to be impatient. Let him have the patience to be brave. Teach him always to have sublime faith in himself, because then he will have sublime faith in mankind. This is a big order, but see what you can do. He is such a fine little fellow, my son. The last part of the poem, and each message in these lines, I think it can change a life of each and every kids or children. Treat him gently. So be kind to my son. You treat him gently, but do not cuddle him. Cuddle is to hold close to the body. Never cuddle him. Don't bring him very close to you, and don't just go on pampering him. No need of pampering. But you have to tell him very gently. Be kind in your words or in your work or whatever you do for my son. But there is no need to cuddle him. No need to pamper him. Don't make him very close to you. Because only the test of fire makes fine steel. You know how the steel is made. The iron, it has to get tested, or it has to be refined in fire. So that is what you should always face the life. So when you are having that ability to face the life, whatever is there, you have to take that test, you have to accept it, and you have to come out of that. So only when that, what is that, iron, it is tested, or it has to bear that heat of the fire, or it has to burn in that, then only you will get the fine steel. Otherwise you don't get the fine steel. In the same way, in the test of life, children, as they grow up, they have to face it, they have to come out of that successfully. Let him have the courage to be impatient. See, sometimes children, they cannot be always patient, they become impatient, because they also cannot just go on listening for everything, isn't it? Because they are children. Let him have that courage, let him be impatient. I don't tell that my son every time he should be very patient, he has to listen everything, he has to do accordingly whatever I tell or whatever you tell. Sometimes surely you will be impatient, or the children also will be impatient. Who doesn't have patience? Let him have the patience to be brave. So with that, he should have the patience to be brave. Brave means who is very courageous. So when will be this braveness, when will the braveness come in you, or when will you be brave? When you have patience. So you should lead situations, you should face situations with lots of patience. Both are needed, patience and impatience. Teach him always to have sublime faith in himself. Sublime faith. Sublime is supreme. You should have supreme faith in yourself. You should tell teachers, as teacher, it's our duty to tell our children, see, some of your classmates may score very well, maybe you are a mediocre one or somebody is average, but you should always have faith in yourself. You believe in yourself and try your best. You may also reach to that level, or if you are a mediocre child, you may also lead a very successful life. Don't worry. And there should be never comparison among the students. Each child is different. Each child has got its own ability, and we have to let free it, and we have to make children know what they are. That is very important. Then only children will start believing themselves, because then he will have sublime faith in mankind. When you have belief in yourself, when you have lots of faith in yourself, then only you will have sublime faith on whom? On mankind, in mankind. That supreme faith in mankind means the human beings, the way man lead life, mankind. That is very important. When you don't believe yourself, you cannot believe others. This is a big order. Which is a big order? From the beginning till the end, all the things whatever he has told, it's really a big thing. With that, this part is also a big thing, because people having faith on each other, that is one concept. Having faith on ourselves, that will make us have faith on others. So all these things are not so easy, because all these things can be brought in a child or put in a child when our environment is really supporting us, the people around us, because children get exposed to different kinds of people in every stage of their life. So that is why this is a big order, whatever I have told. But see what you can do. As a teacher, you see what you can do. He is such a fine little fellow. Who is he? He is the son of Abraham Lincoln, my son. So he is a very fine little fellow, means he is a little boy. As you all know, from kindergarten up to 10th standard, the stages of your life when you enter into the school, how you get adjusted with your friends, your teachers, the changes, all these things. So from such a small age up to the age where you complete your, what is that, your secondary education, so many changes, isn't it? So the writer is telling, he is such a fine little fellow, my son. So really blessed to teach this lesson to my students, because it makes us very proud telling all these things to the children. And as a language teacher, mainly what is our duty is to improve your language, improve your spoken language, improve your written language. But with such kind of poems or the prose items, we not only try to build up the language skills in our children, but we give them so much of message with the different writers or with the different aspects that are given in the textbook. The poem which has been written by Abraham Lincoln has influenced a lot, and I think children, you have understood it line by line, very easily written, and I have also tried to give you lots of information here. So I just want you all to read this again and again, try to inculcate few things at least in your life. And when it comes to your exam point of view, then you have to surely go line by line, because any lines can be asked for your long answers or maybe your answer to the contest. And one more thing is very important is, both the aspects are covered here, that is the positive and the negative. Positive and the negative. In every 2 lines you have the opposite aspects or things added here. So you come to know. You cannot have faith that only good will be there or only bad will be there, or you cannot believe anything, or you cannot have faith. No, both are there. It's a part and parcel of our life. So we have to accept it, bear it, and live the life, and mainly concentrate on the things which can make us lead our life in a better way. Or sometimes you may feel that you had a very beautiful life and you have led that life in a very best way. So this is what is a big gift, I think, as students you can give to your teachers and your parents. When you become successful in your life, we will always feel proud that he was my son or she was my daughter, or all of them were our students. So this will be a great gift that you can give to your teachers. Thank you.